Yeah, recording stopped. Recording in progress. I heard two prompts.
All right. Okay. Thank you, first of all, everyone, for joining this VMUG Chandigarh. This is a new chapter we have got in the northern part of India, and I'm super excited that I've got super talented people here uh, who have joined VMUG Chandigarh, and they'll be contributing their sort of services, and will try to make VMUG Chandigarh a community wherein people uh, can have fun, they can learn, and uh, integrate and can sort of enjoy all these sessions together. My name is Prateek Dugal, and I am one of the VMUG leader for VMUG Chandigarh. Um, and this session is powered by VMware user group itself, and sponsored by VMUG itself. And we will be giving a giveaway today, that is VMUG Advantage Pass. Let me go to the next slide. Before I go to the next slide, there's a registration link here, and anyone who hasn't registered for this event, I would request them to register as soon as possible, because our VMUG Advantage giveaway, only those who have registered will be eligible for this VMUG Advantage Pass. So again, thanks for joining the session. We'll talk about this VMUG Advantage uh, advantages like membership options later, but that's something I wanted to share with everyone. So again, let's discuss the agenda for today. We'll talk about VMware and VMUG. Idea here is to keep everyone aware about what's happening around VMware, what is VMware, what all transformations have happened in last decade around VMware, where that GSX, ESX journey started, and where we are sitting at the moment when we say vSphere 3.x, 4.x to vSphere 7.x at the moment. And we'll also talk about VMUG today, which is VMware User Group. And we'll do introduction of all VMUG leaders, including myself, Prasanna. And we have a very special person with us today who will stay with us through all our VMUG sessions. His name is Akshay Kalia. He's supporting us from the VMware side. And if we need any help or any assistance from VMware side, he's our man here. And we'll talk about VMUG community activities, what VMUG is doing throughout the year. And we'll do a walkthrough of different portals. Actually, we'll open a VMUG website, and we'll make everyone aware what all features and what all services VMUG is providing, what all VMware options we have across VMware community, how we can start our journey with VMware and VMUG, and what can be our starting point here. So I'm sure there'll be few people here new to VMUG and VMware, and there are few people who have already contacted me through LinkedIn. They have shown their interest, and I can see they're already there in the participant section, already listening to this session, but there'll be a lot of people listening to these sessions later. So I'm quite excited that I have Prasanna and Akshay with me, and welcome again to all of you. And we'll definitely do a Q&A session at the end, but if anyone wants to ask anything, either you can raise a hand here if we have that option. Otherwise, feel free to put anything, any your doubts or queries in the Q&A section, and either myself, PPK, or Akshay will pick up your queries and we'll discuss about that. A few housekeeping rules here. Before I introduce the VMUG team to all of you, just a humble request, if you can mute your microphones if you're not speaking. And again, if you have any queries, feel free to put them in a Q&A section. So for the VMUG Advantage Pass, which is the giveaway for today, worth around $200 US, only registered candidates will be eligible for that. And we'll tell you how will give you that VMUG Advantage Pass at the end of the session. Registration link is here. If anyone has not registered yet, please take a picture or screenshot of the screen and register yourself as soon as possible. All right. So again, yeah, that's me in the center. And like 2 months back, just bit of a story here, like how we started, how we came up with an idea of starting VMUG in Chandigarh. I've already contributed in VMUG Auckland, New Zealand, and for 5.5 years I was in Auckland, and for I think close to 3 years I was VMUG leader for Auckland VMUG community, and have uh, I I got that passion from VMware itself. But when I left VMware, I was looking for something wherein I can still be in touch with my VMware buddies and can still serve the community somehow. So I chose this opportunity, this option to stay connected with VMware through VMUG. So I started. I started attending the VMUG sessions in Auckland, and later I joined VMUG Auckland as a VMUG leader. And when I came to India, that's like 6 months back, I was very restless. I was thinking of doing something, and one fine day I called PPK and I was like, "Hey, Prasanna, that's my idea. I want to start VMUG in Chandigarh. What do you think? And can you also join me?" And PPK was very passionate about doing something around VMUG. He has contributed a lot in VMUG. He has done a lot of sessions in US VMUG in San Francisco and other parts. So he was super excited. And then the next call, then I was exploring like who can be our local person uh, uh, within like Chandigarh, but I didn't found anyone Chandigarh. And one fine day, one of my buddy in VMware itself, he told me that, "Hey, Akshay is from Chandigarh." Then I was like, "That's cool," because when I started my journey at VMware, Akshay was the first guy and whom I met, and I actually got to know about VMware, and he helped me a lot to learn things. All that VMware stuff was new to me that time. So without like hesitating or without thinking twice, I called Akshay and I was like, "Hey Akshay, that's the idea, and you have to help us from the VMware side." And that's where we came up with the idea, and we requested VMUG leaders in US, and they also accepted the idea and gave us a thumbs up and a green signal to go ahead to open this new chapter in VMUG Chandigarh. So very excited, and today it's our first session. Um, 14th of July, I'll definitely remember this date. So let's begin the session, and let us introduce to you, and then we'll talk about more about VMUG, VMware. And again, if you'll have any queries at any point of time, feel free to put that in the Q&A section. So few things about me. I've already spoken a lot, but yeah, I'm currently working as a solutions architect, uh, VMware and Azure at Sentinels. And I have also worked with various multinational companies within India. Started with National Informatics Center Bangalore and Cable and Wireless Worldwide, which is Vodafone now. Have worked with HP Enterprise as well, and then I started my journey with VMware. So before VMware, I was core into networking, and had no clue around virtualization. But two 2000, I think 13 is when I started with VMware, and that was the time, I think, when the transition was happening from 5.x to 5.1 to 5.5. That single sign-on thing came up, and so a lot of things were new for everyone. And that time, PPK, I got, yeah, PPK as my mentor there. He was with me all the time I spent in VMware, and after that as well. So I went to New Zealand, he went to US, and but we were still in touch and discussing all that things. And he's like my guru here. A mentor is like not the right word here, I would say. But yeah, so I'm a VMUG proud VMUG leader now for Chandigarh community, and would like to see a lot more and more people joining VMUG Chandigarh now. And we'll also put some feedback at the end of the session, and we'll request everyone to give your feedback on what exciting you want to see in this platform, because this is for you. We are here to bring like expertise from anywhere. We have that platform. We have an opportunity. If we need someone from US, from Australia, Singapore, New Zealand, India, anywhere, we have that platform and we can make that possible. So it's up to you. If you want to listen something specific, let us know, and we'll definitely bring them on board. And that's my LinkedIn and Twitter profile. Anyone wants to reach out to me for anything, please connect me over there. And now I would like to pass it to PPK. And but before before I do that, PPK, I would like to say a few things about you. I see. I mean, people have sort of people might have connections with you because of your technical expertise, but you are like big brother to me, and for any sort of technical guidance or personal guidance I need, I have always come to you. And I'm feeling really great today that I'm doing this VMUG chapter with you. And so because this is giving me an opportunity to stay more connected with you. I understand that you're busy, you've got uh, you are a founding engineer and director, doing a lot at your current position. You have double amount of experience if I'll compare to me, and you have worked with like multinational companies within India, US. Like you have, I mean, I know one thing. Like if I want to know anything about any technology, whether it's VLSI or virtualization, anything around AWS, Azure, you are like a resource to me who is always available. And but yeah, we would like to listen from you, the man himself. Please introduce yourself and uh, make yourself aware to this new VMUG community in Chandigarh. Over to you, PPK.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of you to talk about me, but anyways, I'm Prasanna. I've been in IT industry for over 16 years now. Been in various divisions of the industry, be it support, professional services, and R&D, both in India and US. In my experience, I've worked in 4 companies, both in India and in US, the same companies: VMware India, VMware US, Amazon India, Amazon US, Rubrik India, Rubrik US, Phoenix Data, like that. Yeah, I'm super excited to start VMUG Chandigarh with my buddies Pratik and Akshay. Akshay was senior to me. Akshay was tech lead to me back in VMware. So I'll talk about him a little later. And Pratik, I have a few questions to ask you about your experience from running VMUG show in Auckland, as well as your you mentioned about leadership summit. I'll ask you about that, but for now I'll pass on to Akshay and listen from him about his experience. Well, before that, I want to tell everyone that Akshay is in VMware before me. He was tech lead before I joined VMware, so he knows in and out of any product. And I know that for a fact that when I joined, VMware had just 2 products, but now it's a large company with many products. So Akshay has worked on all of them, I believe, and he may have under the hood insights about every single product. So it's great to have Akshay with us to join VMware Chandigarh community, VMUG Chandigarh community. So with that, I'll hand over to Akshay. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm super excited that we are starting this community, and thank you for your kind words, Prasanna and Prateek. Um, yes, I started my journey with VMware back in 2009. It's been over 13 years now. Um, and my overall experience with IT industries are close to 16 and a half years, where I spent the first 3 years with Convergys as supporting Microsoft operating systems, right? So as a matter of fact, I guess Prateek missed one key information, right? So our story goes back before VMware, right? So we didn't meet each other in VMware, but our meeting in VMware was like, I saw Prateek and I was like, "Oh, tu ethe?"
I
And he was like,
remember that, Akshay, because I didn't get chance to meet in the college. You were like
yeah,
super senior to me, so yeah.
yeah. So we are from same college. We did our BTech together in same college. I was like 3 years senior to you, right? I was in fourth year when you were in first year, right?
Yes. No, I
Yeah.
think no,
So
you passed out from the college. Like when I joined, you're already like working somewhere.
no, man,
Yeah, 2000,
you
2005 I started, and I think you finished in
yeah.
2005. But
So
yeah,
I was in
we
fourth
can
year. Yeah,
take
2006, 2006 is when I. So yeah, you were in first year. I was in fourth year, right?
yes.
Yeah. So our story started back in college days. So when I saw him in VMware, it was fun. Um, so let's talk a bit about VMware, right? So back in 2009, when I joined VMware, right? So it was the pilot batch for supporting ESXi and vCenter Server. That was the core products of VMware. In addition to that, there were some workstation, some end user products like Workstation, or it used to be called GSX, I guess, back then. It was a hosted hypervisor, right? So and for next 5 to 6 years, the concentration of VMware was on x86 virtualization, and ESX and vCenter were the core products. The Within next 5 years, I can say that about 80% or 90% of Fortune 500 companies adopted x86 virtualization, and we reached to a point where I guess there was no data center in Fortune 500 companies where VMware was not present and not virtualizing x86 workload, right? Uh, but then came the other vendors, right? So then suddenly hypervisor became a commodity, and we had competitors in the market, and people were starting to pick up on other hypervisors and using that as well. And at that point, VMware saw an opportunity to become multi-phase company, and they started exploring into something called any, right? That was a strategy put forward by then the CEO, which was Pat, right? So what Pat vision was that VMware should provide a platform that can help people run any application on any cloud, any device, anywhere, using any operating system, right? And there shouldn't be any foundations. You have an app, it should just run. It doesn't matter if you have a mobile phone, tablet, iPad, Android, what, it should work for the end user. So that was the vision. This vision got executed for next few years, um, and we reached to a point where it got converted into multi-cloud, right? So today, if you talk about VMware is all about multi-cloud. We are no longer x86 virtualization company. We talk about helping organization work with multi-cloud environments, right? And multi-cloud is a harsh reality of today, right? So um, when COVID-19 set in, nobody thought that business will transform and your home will become your office, right? For some organization, it was pretty simple move, right? I'll take an example of VMware, right? So it was just a phone call. Like my manager said, from tomorrow you'll work from home. I said, okay. And it was just that, right? But this transition was not this simple for a lot of other organizations. There were a lot of IT and logistic challenges, right? As of today, VMware is trying to solve these challenges. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of organizations have come forward and accelerated their digital transform to provide anywhere workspace for their employees using VMware portfolio. And that's about me and my journey with VMware so far. So in addition to what I do for VMware, right? So in my free time, right, you can see me tinkering around with IoT devices. I sometimes blog as well on vmzoneblog.com. And as of today, I am part of this multi-cloud strategy by working on SaaS stack, which manages the lifecycle orchestration for VMC on AWS. So right now, Prateek has opened my blog. This is my blog where I put write-ups, maybe one or sometimes one or two in 2-3 months, right? And you can follow me there if you are interested in what I talk about. So that's my lens towards VMware and what I have done in past 13 years within VMware.
Thanks,
All right.
thanks, Akshay. PPK, I just want to share one. I know Akshay. I got to know about Akshay from someone, and when I met Akshay, he told me a story. Like he spoke about x86 and all that virtualization happening around that. I remember a story when he was in college, and one lecturer was sort of drawing a x86 architecture on a board, and that lady was like copying it from a manual, from a book, and this guy was like was not at all listening to her, and his head was down. He was not at all attentive or listening, and that lady was like, hey, why are you doing that? Like he pissed her off actually. And he was like, hey, you are that's like a wrong diagram. That's not a right x86 architecture. Then that lady was like, okay, are you saying that that diagram is wrong in the book itself? Then Akshay was like, yes. So that was the first story about Akshay, where I was like, okay, that's like a very courageous person, and would like to know more about him. That's where we spend more time together. So, but yeah, that's fun. And thanks, Akshay, for making
Yes,
all of us aware of all that transition happened in VMware. Today, everyone's talking about vSphere 7.x and all that integration VMware has done. Earlier, when I was working with VMware, it was just core VMware, and there were few products around vRealize Suite and other things. But nowadays, that portfolio has grown like at a stage wherein it's quite difficult to even uh, carry all the names with you. So there are different projects
yes,
happening,
exactly.
like Project Architect and other things. But yeah, I mean, but that's a good platform wherein we can discuss and learn all these things from people like you and PPK. But yeah, PPK, over to you. It was just my thing in
Yeah.
between.
No, that's great to have Akshay on board with us in
Thank you, guys.
VMUG Chandigarh.
I still remember getting kicked out of that lecture too.
Oh yes.
Yeah, of course. This VMUG is more about community and other things, and I know, Pratik, you're very much passionate about community. And you, in your introduction, you mentioned about VMUG Leadership Summit. And also, I know you have done a lot of VMUG activities in New Zealand. We collaborated once back in VMware, back in Rubrik, as I remember. So if you can tell us about all the activities that happens around VMUG, and also your journey with leadership team in VMware US, and all the activities you have done with VMUG, that would be great.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, VMUG means a lot to me. VMware actually changed my attitude. Before joining VMware, I was a different person. But when when you are in VMware, you see everyone working. I mean, everyone's working towards a direction. Like everyone has a product, everyone's working around it, whether you're supporting your customers or doing. But one thing I learned in VMware, that no one's wasting their time there. So time is very, very valuable. So VMware actually changed my perspective, my attitude towards technology, and that's where I started my journey. And but yes, as I told before, after leaving VMware, when I went to New Zealand, started exploring my options there. One thing I found that, hey, VMUG is everywhere, whether you are in Auckland, New Zealand, Australia, US, Singapore, Malaysia, anywhere, Saudi Arabia, any part of like Europe, it's everywhere. And that's your opportunity wherein you can meet like-minded people and you get to know, hey, what's happening around the globe and how other customers, partners are getting transformed. So back in Auckland, I joined VMUG, and this was the tag I received. And now, PPK, you're also part of it. You're also holding a VMUG volunteer leader tag with you, wherein we have a responsibility to keep this community active and to continuously participate in all these sessions and do various things for our community here. And apart from that, VMUG has another channel wherein we can also approach VMware. It's a VMware CTO ambassador program. So VMUG is partnered with that, and anyone across, whether you are a VMUG member or you're a VMware customer, VMware partner, if you have any feedback which you want to provide to VMware, that's another channel what we can use as a feedback forum. You can tell us and we will pass your request to direct to VMware through this VMware CTO ambassador program. So these are kind of the opportunities you get when you become VMUG leader. And that's where I explored and started my journey in Auckland. And being a VMUG leader, you also get an opportunity to attend a leader summit once a year. Unfortunately, in 2021, there was no VMUG Leader Summit because of COVID. But back in 2020, I attended a Leader Summit in San Francisco, Palo Alto. And this was the tagline back then: expand your sphere at Leader Summit, because Leader Summit is a opportunity wherein you meet all leaders globally, whether you're from France, you're from um, Singapore, or people from India, New Zealand, everywhere. You meet everyone there and you exchange your ideas and you get to know what they are doing in their community, what different they are doing, and how you can and you can definitely make connections with them. So that's your opportunity to learn from your fellow VMUG leaders. You also get opportunity to meet VMware senior leadership team, including VMware CTO, VMware CEO. You also get opportunity to meet VMUG leaders who are leading this VMUG space everywhere. So I would like to share some of the picks from that VMUG Leader Summit with everyone. So that's like an opportunity for leaders, but some similar opportunities comes to everyone. If you are a member of VMUG, you will stay connected with this community, and we will make sure that you are connected with VMware and other sort of partners as well. So if there are any opportunities coming in, there is a job board in VMUG platform, wherein if you are interested to be part of VMUG or VMware, you just have to update your CV there, and someone, I mean, you can see a lot of leaders here. Someone, if they are looking for a person like you, they'll pick your CV from there and they'll give you a job. So you'll be working from home or from India for some other country. So anything can happen. It's all about connections, and you can see how well, how I like all these happy faces here. So everyone's happy and to be in Palo Alto office here, and we enjoyed a lot. Let me find me. Okay, I'm just standing somewhere. Where's the mouse? Standing somewhere here. Yeah, that's me. And yeah, enjoyed this session. And let me share a few more pics from there. So that's the space wherein all leaders enjoy the Leader Summit that goes for 2 days, and you get an opportunity to listen to the senior leadership team. The first kind of the um, person who joined that Leader Summit from a senior leadership team from VMware was Pat himself, and we really enjoyed his session. Although, as you can see, um, he was not well. He was doing some ice skating, I believe, that weekend, and had that injury. But still, he was like, "I love VMUG leaders, and I want to be there." So he met us and provided us the sort of future, uh, like all his ideas on the future of VMware and things like that, made us aware of all those things. And then we get chance to meet Sanjay Poonan, who was back then the VMware CTO, and very, very powerful leader. I mean, if you listen to him, like within 5-10 minutes, you'll be like super pumped to do something around like virtualization and in that VMware space. So very, very energetic people. There were a few other people like Amanda Belvis, and I really liked her way of her presentation skills. Unfortunately, didn't get chance to get her picture here, Amanda Belvis, but really, really liked her. And Brad Tompkins, he's currently the executive director for VMUG. So he's leading the VMUG space at the moment, and get chance to meet him and the other fellow VMUG leaders there. And then we had an opportunity to assemble all these bicycles, and we donated to our organization. So that's a NGO there. And but that was a wonderful activity. So enjoyed that moment with other fellow VMUG leaders. I still know a lot of VMUG leaders and made a lot of connections there. So that's from the leaders' point of view, like where leaders can, so leaders have two wings, I would say. One, they can keep themselves connected with other fellow leaders through this Leader Summit, and other connection is wherein they can bring all that energy, all that flow to their local VMUG community. So that's kind of our job here. And I'm excited that this time VMUG Leader Summit, it's happening in Lisbon, Portugal. And let's see if I'll get the invite. I'll definitely attend that Leader Summit, and would like to meet all these super awesome people again. So yeah, that's about like my experiences from Leader Summit. But now I would request Akshay, because he has already touched base on the life of VMware in a way, like last decade, how things were, and all that moves from GSX, ESX to ESXi, vCenter, vSphere 7, Tenzu, vRealize, and all those integrations. There's a video I know Akshay has. Would like him to play that video so that everyone can
Sure.
watch it.
Thank you, Pratik. So I'll play a small YouTube video that gives the journey of VMware since the start to about ESX to 6.x release. It's not an official VMware video, but the guy has kept it pretty fun, and he has a lot of great information in that video. So I'll share that video. Let's listen. Let's watch it together.
What does the world's most popular hypervisor have to do with disco music? And how did 5 people start a multi-billion-dollar company called VMware? In November of 1997, 3 Stanford University PhD students, Edward Bion, Scott Devine, and Kishna Goval, along with their professor Mendel Rosenblum, published a paper on running commodity operating systems on scalable multiprocessors. The idea was to take something they considered to be a bad idea from the 1970s, which was virtual machine monitors, and reapply it using 1990s tech. They called it Project Disco because the 70s music genre was making a temporary comeback at the time. The team's goal was to be able to run multiple copies of operating systems on a single computer. And with just 13,000 lines of code, the team was able to run multiple copies of Silicon Graphics IRIX OS on a single SGI Origin 200 machine. In 1998, Rosenblum, Devine, and Bouillon joined up with Diane Green, Mendel's wife, and Edward Wang, a fellow University of California, Berkeley graduate, and together they founded the company VMware. VMware's first office was a 500 square foot space located above the Village Cheese House Deli in Palo Alto, California. They spent several weeks in this executive suite trying to get Windows 95 to boot on a Linux workstation. They had a particularly difficult time because Windows would just hang for no apparent reason during boot up. They generated gigabytes in logs that they analyzed with VI, and this had the team questioning if this whole thing was just a bad idea. But thankfully, they worked through the issues, and in March of 1998, the first Windows VM was started and took about 30 minutes to boot. Shortly thereafter, VMware grew to 16 employees, and they moved to a much larger 2,000 square foot office, affectionately known as the Crack House, supposedly due to the state of disrepair that the building was in. February 1999 marked a major milestone at VMware when VMware 1.0, which is now known as Workstation, made its first public appearance at the Demo 99 Technology Conference. VMware 1.0 allowed users to run DOS, Windows, and Linux virtual machines on a Linux desktop. The product went into beta March 14, 1999, and had over 100,000 downloads before it went GA on March 15, 1999. One user even stated in an email, "This is the coolest software I've ever seen. You guys must have brains the size of Volkswagens." VMware for Windows came out later that year on September 7th, but VMware didn't stop with desktops. They saw an even greater potential in the data center. In January of 2001, VMware released GSX Server. GSX was installed on top of a host OS such as Red Hat or Mandrake, and even Windows a few months later, and supported DOS, Windows, and Linux VMs just like Workstation. Users could create and use VMs directly on the GSX host, or install a remote console on a workstation. There was also a web-based management user interface to manage those virtual machines. GSX also introduced the concept of undoable disks, where writes made to a disk are saved to a redo log, and the user could decide whether to discard or commit those changes, very similar to snapshots today. Just 2 months later, ESX was released as the world's first bare metal hypervisor, meaning it didn't rely on a pre-installed operating system. VM kernel-based architecture was introduced in ESX as a much more efficient way to deal with I/O. There was a service console, which was for all intents and purposes the operating system used to interact with VMware ESX and the virtual machines running on it. At normal runtime, the VM kernel would run on the bare computer, and the Linux-based service console would actually run as the first virtual machine. And like GSX, there was a remote management console to use VMs as though you were sitting in front of a physical machine. The web-based MUI provided a bird's eye view of all the registered VMs and allowed users to start, stop, suspend, resume, and even reset virtual machines. But ESX and GSX were code names used for the private beta programs. The E stood for Enterprise, S was for Server, and X was for the x86 platform. But the G in GSX stood for Workgroup. They didn't want to use W because they already had a product called Workstation, and they didn't want to cause any confusion. VMware hired a new marketing firm to come up with the actual names for these products, and they ultimately came up with Elastic Sky and Groundstorm, which was later changed to Groundswell because, well, Groundstorm sounded too much like Desert Storm. But the names weren't very popular, and the products ended up launching with the beta names. In July of 2003, ESX2 introduced virtual symmetric multiprocessing, which meant that VMs could run up to 2 virtual CPUs so long as your server had 2 physical CPUs to support them. There was also another product making its way into customers' hands called VM Center, which was quickly changed to Virtual Center. Released in December of 2003, Virtual Center allowed for the management of multiple ESX and GSX servers from a single console. It was installed on top of Windows and leveraged an Access, SQL, or Oracle database and gave users standard management features, plus performance charts and alarms. But there was one feature that really blew everybody away: vMotion. vMotion was designed by Mike Nelson, who also designed the VM kernel. And this amazing new feature allowed for virtual machines to migrate from host to host without ever being interrupted. In 2004, VMware kicked off the first ever VMworld in San Diego, which was attended by 1,500 people. The big news of this event was that VMware had been acquired by storage giant EMC. June 13, 2006, ESX Server 3 was released alongside Virtual Center 2.0. This release introduced the concept of clusters and resource pools and technologies that could take advantage of the new cluster constructs, such as Distributed Resource Scheduler, which balances workloads across all hosts in a cluster, and HA, which brings up VMs in the event that a host goes down. Virtual Center Client was also renamed to Virtual Infrastructure Client to convey its new ability to connect either directly to ESX hosts or to Virtual Center. But many years before ESX Server was released, VMware started researching a way to shrink the hypervisor. They removed a major source of size and complexity, the Linux-based service console. And they did this without losing any functionality such as vMotion, DRS, HA, Virtual Center manageability, and so on. This opened up the possibility of distributing ESX on flash memory installed inside of servers. And during VMworld in 2007, VMware announced a partnership with Dell to offer just that. On December 31st, 2007, VMware ESX Server 3i was released, with the I standing for integrated. In 2009, VMware announced its largest release ever. On May 21st, vSphere 4 was delivered to the hands of VMware's customers. vSphere bundled vCenter and ESXi and was called the industry's first ever cloud operating system. It took 1,000+ engineers 3 million engineering hours to deliver 150 new features, such as host profiles, vCenter server linked mode, vApps, centralized data store management, vSphere CLI, vSphere host update utility, vCenter orchestrator, fault tolerance, storage vMotion enhancements, enhanced vMotion compatibility, VMs with up to 8 CPUs and 255 gigs of RAM, VMXNet 3, DirectPath I/O, virtual disk thin provisioning, and vNetwork distributed switch. vSphere 4 was a very important release as it laid down the foundation that modern-day vSphere is built on top of. It also marks the end of ESX, as 4.1 was its terminal release in 2014. vSphere 5 was the first release to be built exclusively for ESXi and was released on August 24, 2011. In it were some important new features like the vCenter Server Appliance and vSphere 5 Web Client that everybody knows and loves. Auto-deploy and storage DRS were introduced, and VMs could have up to 32 vCPUs and a terabyte of RAM. And what's more, vSphere 5.5 introduced vSAN, which could take the storage from multiple servers and create a single storage array. March 12, 2015 marked the debut of vSphere 6.0, which expanded the capabilities of vMotion to other vCenters. This was an incredible announcement because VMs could migrate to different physical data centers without downtime. Fault tolerance was expanded to support VMs with up to 4 vCPUs for instant failover, and Instant Clone rocked the VDI world. vSphere 6.5 came out nearly 2 years later on November 15, 2016, and brought with it a brand new HTML5 client for management. Metro vMotion was expanded to support longer distance migrations, and vCenter server appliances could be natively backed up and be made highly available. April 17, 2018, vSphere 6.7 was released and brought with it a number of security enhancements and the ability to suspend and resume VMs with GPUs, as well as cross-cloud migrations and hybrid linked mode. which allows enterprises to link 2 or more vCenters even if they're on different versions. But one of the coolest features is vSphere Quick Boot, which can restart the hypervisor without rebooting the physical host to significantly cut down on reboot times. The innovations just keep coming from VMware, and frankly, there are too many to list in this video. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, click the subscribe button below. I'm Matt Bradford for VMspot.
Thanks, Akshay.
Thanks.
And
Prateek.
thanks to
So,
Matt, actually. And I understand that you have also taken permission from Matt that will be watching
yes.
this video in this VMUG platform. So huge thanks to Matt as well.
Sure,
Uh,
Prateek. So this video ended at actually 6.x. The latest release is now 7.0, which is actually targeted towards multi-cloud, right? So if you see in Matt's video, right, he was talking mostly about x86 virtualization and how VMware improved the manageability and the capabilities of x86 virtualization so it can be seamless. 7.0 release is all about multi-cloud environment, how we can leverage and connect your on-prem to other clouds and give you ability to migrate stuff from your on-prem to some cloud to from some cloud to on-prem and things like that. So that's the latest release that we are on. And one of the products that helps you do that is HCX with the combination of VMC on any cloud. You can choose VMC on AWS, for example. You can have a small data center in VMC on AWS, and then you can have an on-prem vSphere data center and have HCX enabled. And you can actually achieve migration of workload from your on-prem to AWS in matter of hours rather than days.
yeah, and I think same thing you can do with any cloud. So with vSphere now, that any cloud, anywhere story is more possible.
It's more close to
Close to,
realization.
yeah, yeah. All right. No, that's great. And okay, PPK, would you like to talk about VMware Learning? Actually, before we go to PPK, Akshay, you're already sharing your screen at the moment, I think. Isn't it? No?
I stopped it, but I can
Okay.
start again.
Yeah, if you can talk more around VMware .com, like what all options are available, and people who are listening to this session today, what can be their starting point here? So if they are new to VMware, what they can do, and if let's say they already have expertise in some domain, they are already doing a multi-cloud, they are already on that multi-cloud journey, what are their options?
So I will suggest, like, my personal recommendation would be to go to Connect Learning or Customer Learning Zone, right? Instead of VMware.com. That's the point where they will get a lot of learning material from VMware published. Let me just open that just a second, then I'll share the.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sharing my screen in case you want to show it here. But yeah, it's better if you can share.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Just a second. So this is what I would recommend to start at vmware.com/learning.html. So you need to create a account here. Once you have the account, there are a bunch of content that you can access. Like if I click on login, it will do an SSO login and will show up stuff that is also for employees. So I'm not clicking on login right now, but yeah, here you will be able to do casual learning just in case you want to explore theoretical aspect of a product. You can come here, watch some videos, see how see the theoretical part of that product, and then you can also actually follow a certification path. But not everything is free. I guess casual learning is free, but if you target a certification, then there's a cost associated.
Yeah. So if you
I
can
guess PPK
quickly,
is going to double click on that in later part of the
Yeah.
talk today, right?
yeah. So PPK, over to you then. If you can talk a bit about
Yeah.
communities.vmware and what can be the starting point for people who are new to VMware and wants to start their journey there.
Sure, absolutely. Of course, when somebody starts journey with VMware, when you start, you might have attended some training or you might have access to all the documentation, but still there will always be a use case which is unique to your requirement or unique to your deployment or application. So many a times you'll find that someone else in the world also has solved those problems or might have hit the same problem. So first thing I always do is see if anyone else has encountered or is looking for help. So communities, VMware has very robust community which people have tried all sorts of things and they have published solution or ways to get things working. Right. This is apart from all the recipes that VMware has with reference architectures and everything. So in VMware communities, there are different sections. Right. If you are looking for SDDC related, software defined data center related documentation or solutions, you have it here. Networking, be it NSX or HSX is this multi-cloud thing, you can look for information there. And there are some special documentations that are usually hard to cover in the official product documentation itself. Say, for example, if you're looking for detailed information on interpreting some tool or some utility like ESX top, and people have written extensively about it, what counter means, everything in detail. So communities is really helpful. Similarly, for NSX, NSXT, there are many reference designs. And again, this is being discussed on VMware communities where all the experts from all across the globe, need not be just your country or your city or your company, but all across the globe, they are very much engaged. They get notified or they can review the content here, right? Or even provide an alternate solution for something. So that's about VMware communities, right? And along with that, if you're getting started, if you're looking for using VMware products, say you're in your company, you have a solution that you have a implementation requirement that you want to try out first. Need not be just your company, maybe you're studying, you want to get your hands on, and you don't have a server, right? Many a times it's not possible to have servers at home. So there are various labs which are pretty much in detail. You can go deep dive on many product features, which is hard to build if you want to build out yourself. So that's in pathfinder.vmware.com, and you can select various different products, say HCI with VMware vSAN or many hands-on lab solutions are here. Most difficult thing is to do the networking with NSX. So I found there are many labs for that as well. So that this is a very useful tool.
Sorry to interrupt you here, PPK, but as you are walking us through to other options as well, can you please start one lab from here?
Sure. Actually, I need to reset my password.
Okay, no worries. I'll take care of that part.
So it's pretty simple. If you go to try our labs, and then if you go to say vSphere, right? So you click start. They have very detailed step by step. I think I can run this without logging in. Let me quickly check.
No, I think you have to log in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably.
No, I guess this one is free. This one is free. You don't need to log in. Just click on start.
Okay, I just clicked. Okay, yeah, it
Oh no,
requires.
it will ask.
Yeah, I'll reset the password in a bit, but yeah, Pratik, if you have logged in or
Yeah, I'm logging into that. Just want to show that sort of that screen wherein servers getting built for you and environments getting ready, wherein you can test
yes, okay,
everything. So
yeah,
just want to share that.
yeah, I
I'm
don't want to
doing it.
reset while on screen sharing.
Yep.
Okay, I'll stop sharing. Okay, that's it's you get real, a real product. It could be virtual machine somewhere in the cloud, but you still get to access the entire product with most of the features. You can try it out, right? Not limited to just one or two features. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to test one or two features. VMware has created labs to try out those things as well. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, sorry, but my access is also not working to hands-on lab. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's something you can try at your own time. And I would request everyone to look into VMware hands-on labs. And now let's jump into to VMUG. Actually, I would like everyone to make aware of what's happening around VMUG, what is VMUG, and what all options are available, and what all membership you can avail. There are a few free memberships, and you can also avail Advantage. You can also upgrade your um, membership to VMUG Advantage by using VMUG. It's here. So we'll talk about that. But before we jump into anything, vmug.com is that one-stop shop wherein you can go and find all that information. So as soon as you log into vmug.com, and under here event section, I've clicked on all events, and under all events I can see for 14th of July VMUG Chandigarh launch and welcome. It's there, and apart from that I can see what else happening. So in Atlanta someone's doing a user con, and some other VMUG meetings happening in US, and where is this one happening again? US. And
Pratik, are you
you
sharing something?
oh yes, I'm sharing. Is it not shared?
No, no.
Give me one moment. Ta-da. How is it? Is it okay now?
Yeah, now it is.
Okay, cool. And you can see that vmug.com screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's what I was explaining. Sorry about that, and thanks Akshay for reminding me. But yeah, so I'm under vmug.com at the moment, and that's the one-stop shop. And I have clicked on all events here, and that's where I can see VMUG Chandigarh. So anyone wants to see when is the next session happening, and you can just search what's happening around VMUG Chandigarh or any other user group. So you can register for any VMUG session here. So as there are VMUG leaders everywhere in every country, so everyone's doing something around some products based on the interest of their community. So that this VMUG community is talking about VMware Cloud Director. That means their community is already matured and they understand all vSphere terms, and people are already working around sort of multi-cloud. They understand NSX and things like that. So we will also get into that position, but because it's our first session, we wanted to keep it very, very simple. So we are talking about just VMUG and VMware. But similarly, you can see all that stuff happening across the globe. So that's like a starting point for you. And if I'll talk about VMUG, what is VMUG? It's somehow related to VMware, but it's an independent global customer-led organization. So although we are, in a way, you can think of VMUG as a force who is trying to help or trying to support VMware from outside. So people like me who are not part of VMware, who are not like Akshay here, are trying to do their bit from outside. So we are, and a lot of participants here, uh, you might be a customer, might be a partner, but you are not a VMware employee, you can be part of VMUG and can be part of this community here. So like from VMware.com, you get all those options. So you in VMUG as well, you get some offerings wherein you can be part of that global
Pratik, sorry
network.
to cut you in. I'd like to add a point here if you're
Yep.
okay with that.
Yep.
So from VMware perspective, right? So VMUG is a forum for VMware users, right? So let's say as a VMware, like I'm a VMware employee, right? I cannot share my customer contacts. I am legally bound that I cannot tell the deployment methodology of one customer to another customer.
Yep.
But this platform, VMUG platform, allows you to share your thoughts as users, right? So let's say you are trying to solve a problem that is solved by another VMware customer already, right? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You're part of VMUG group. You can get in touch with that customer, and two customers can talk about each other if they want to,
If they
right?
want to, yeah, conditions
Yeah,
apply.
if they want to, conditions apply, right? So if you want to discuss your setups, your journey of reaching where you have reached with somebody else, and take their learnings from their journey and go back to your organization and implement that VMUG provides that platform. This is from VMware perspective, right? So what's in it for VMware, right?
Yep.
That's why VMware does VMUG, because it gives us an ability to connect multiple customers together so they don't have to reinvent the wheel, and they can reuse each other's learnings.
Yep, that's great. And I've seen that happening in Auckland, wherein people have come on board and have shared their uh, uh, like their ideas with with other participants there. So we used to do in-person sessions there, and those sessions used to be very fun sessions actually, and wherein you get to know, as you said, Akshay, you get to know what's happening and how other people are actually solving their problems. So if you're also experiencing the same problem, so yes, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Someone at VMUG might help you. It's not like they are bound to help you, but yes, if they are willing, and they can help you. And yeah, that's that way. I mean, you can make best use of VMUG. But again, end of the day, it's all about your networking, your community, and your connections growing through VMUG. So that's the main idea here. So there are a lot of events happening all the time across the globe. So as I clicked on that event thing, and you found all the local meetings, virtual events, and anything, any road shows happening, you will get that information from vmug.com, and you can also register yourself here, and can view and can get notified for all those events. And if you want to be engaged in any community, any particular community, like I'm interested in a few communities, and I'm following them actually, because I am interested to see what all sessions they are bringing for their community, and how well connected they are. I am following those communities. So you can connect with your communities of your interest. You just have to find your local community, or community from outside, and just get yourself registered. And there are few virtual offerings. Like I said, under the events, you will see some road shows. vSphere with Tenzu is new thing. So as soon as you'll click on these virtual offerings, it will again take you to all those virtual sessions happening across the globe, and you can join to that. And as I said earlier, there are few membership plans we have. As of now, as soon as you are a member of VMware user group, you get a general membership to access anything around VMUG. But there is another way you can access some more um, extensive content from VMware itself. And let's say you are building your own environment, your own uh, uh, data center at home, like your home lab, and you need some licenses, or you want to get certified, and you need some discounts on that. There are a lot of other things you can do. So anything around evaluation experience, VMware education, or some Fling webcasts which are not available for general membership, you can upgrade your membership to Advantage membership, which is like $200. But today, people who have attended the program will make a note of all these attendees at the end of the session. One of you will be will get a chance to will get this VMUG Advantage Pass, which is worth around $200, and you'll be able to avail some extra benefits out of it. So that's one thing. And yes, I've already talked about membership benefits and all the events, all the webcasts, whether they are old webcasts and you are interested to see, or any upcoming, you will get that information here. Under education resources, actually, I later request PPK to give us more insight on the education resources. Let me see. Latest from VMware professional development. Yeah, actually, there's one thing VMUG has started called as VMUG TV. So if you are interested to know, you can register to that, and you will get notified whenever there'll be new thing coming out of VMware or VMUG. They put that in VMUG TV. So that's also part of uh, VMUG education. Benefit of VMUG communities. Yeah, so being a VMUG member, I mean, it's first session for some of you, but I think the best and the greatest benefit of VMUG community is like you can stay connected with like-minded people, and you get a platform to share your ideas, and you get platform to listen to someone who have already spent like more than 10 years, 20 years of their experience around that cloud, multi-cloud thing. So that's, to me, that's a benefit of VMUG community. What's the benefit for VMUG leader? I've already showed you a few pics wherein we are doing all these sessions for our community and doing a leader meetup somewhere in US, Europe every year, once a year. So that's sort of benefits for VMUG leaders, wherein they also get chance to meet all the senior leadership team. And on top of that, if you are a VMUG member, and let's say VMworld happening, this time they call it as VMware Explore, happening in October or November, I think. Don't recall the dates, but yeah, so if you are interested to present in VMware Explore, that's something you can use. And let's say somewhere UserCon is happening or some sessions happening, and anyone wants to invite you, so you use this option, call for content. And as I told earlier, there is also a job board here, wherein if you have any jobs in your company, you can put that here, and people across the globe will look into that and will contact you. Actually, you can find any VMUG member here. So don't have enough time today to show that part, but if you can explore that at your own pace, that would be great. All-star programs, actually, I need to explore that. Don't know much about that all-star program. Okay, anyways, I'll explore that later. And we'll discuss that in our next session. But like VMware.com, if you have interest in any of the technology here, whether it's multi-cloud or you're interested in your professional development, just click on there and register. And I remember there was there is some mentor-mentee kind of program happening. It was happening last year. I'm not sure if it's happening now, but if you do that registration, and there are a lot of mentors there in that program, and if you want to do your professional development or want to learn anything specific, you just have to fill up the form in a way, have to show your interest, and someone from, whether that guy from this guy can be from Singapore or Australia, US, New Zealand, anywhere, he can be your mentor. And if you have expertise, let's say 2 3 years, 5 years, you can be mentor for someone. And being a mentor or a mentee in that program can sort of do that. That's like you can uplift yourself and can learn all that from your mentor. So to me it was easy. I know a lot of people in VMware, so anything I want to know, I know who can help me out. But there are a lot of people who haven't joined VMware, they don't have that connectivity. So to get that connectivity in your hands, it's a great opportunity. You just fill out that form and pick one of your, like, what's your interest, just pick that from here and get connected with someone, either from, yeah, outside India, within India, anyway. So there are some more VMUG options wherein you if you want to, if you are interested in doing blogs, you can do the blogging here. It will help community to see your blogs here. And you can also do a podcast or can listen to the existing podcast. There's a VMUG TV wherein you can watch videos. I like that video wherein one lady was creating a home lab, and that's like kind of a multi. She did multiple sessions, and but she explained everything in and out, how you can come out with your home lab and can try all that stuff here. So knowledge center, I believe that's like a knowledge base wherein you see all the KB articles. So if you're stuck anywhere, doing the upgrade or anything, you just go to vmware.kb.com and you will see all the knowledge base information there. So a lot of other sponsorship, local group sponsorship opportunities. Back in Auckland, we used to get sponsored by various companies, partners, like HP, IBM, Google. Rubrik has also had also sponsored one of our VMUG, and um, we get that opportunity to talk to anyone. So if we want sponsors from within India or outside India, we can approach them and can ask them, hey, we are running VMUG Chandigarh, would you like to sponsor that event? And people are super happy and to come up and share that stage with VMUG community. So we will do that in future. But if you want to understand or want to know anything about VMUG, vmug.com is that one-stop shop wherein you can learn more around it and register to your interested area from here. One other thing I wanted to share, and that is V Expert. That's another title, and from VMware. As of now, applications are closed, but if you are a VMware, if you are interested to be a VMware expert, you get multiple options. So that's free. You don't have to pay anything to be a VMware expert. And vexpert.vmware.com is where you have to go, and you can see how many V experts are there across the globe, and you will find all those people there. If you want to find anyone specific, let's say, um, I think Akshay is also see, I can find Akshay, and I know he's a senior member of technical staff doing. So I can reach out to him very easily. He's doing blogging at VMs on blog. So that way you can stay connected with your
So,
people.
Pratik, I like to change a slight bit about VExpert. VExpert is free in terms of monetary expenses, right? But it requires, to get this title, it requires investment, which is much more expensive, and that's time.
Yeah, that's time anyways.
So,
And there are different
yes,
actually titles, different
titles,
options
yeah.
you can
So,
explore. If you are a
expert, yes.
starter, if you are just starting your journey with VMware, and it's like just 6 months to 1 year, you're new to VMware, you can still apply for VExpert and just mark yourself as evangelist and fill up the form and tell this team about your contributions. Attending VMUG events is also one of your contributions. So based on that, they can pick up your application and can give you that VExpert tag for that year. But to continue with that tag for every year, you have to do something around the community. So like
Yes.
we are doing this session, we will be adding that for like next time we'll be applying for vExpert, we will be telling that we sort of organized a session here. So that's something you can do. Under events and opportunities, you can see what all sessions you can attend. There are a few free webinars you can attend. Not sure. Okay, it's asking for login. But under
Yeah, you can. So there are sessions, and you have licenses as well for some products that you get for your home labs and also.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I can do that. Yeah,
I
but
can log into this.
don't want to share just the license part, but rest everything's fine. So applications are okay. I'm here, Akshay. So under license part, I won't click on that, but that's another option you get. So if you are trying to create your home lab and you are a vExpert, you get all the licenses, and they're free for you, but they're not for sale. You can use it in your home lab and can pick up those license from here. So whether it's Workstation, Fusion, ESXi, vCenter, Tenzu, even NSX, HCX, you get all those licenses there, and they are updating those licenses every few months. So new licenses are getting updated. So under events and opportunities, as of now, I can see VMware Explore, which is nothing but VMworld 2022, and US and EMEA. And like, as you can see history here, so a lot of sessions have already been done. So if you want to watch these videos later, you can do that. But as you can see, there are a lot of things already happening under vExpert, and you will, I mean, as of now, my status is active because I am contributing. Once you will start contributing, you will also, and you get that title. Let me see what I can see under certificate and badges. So this has been updated. Earlier it was 2021. Now it has been updated to VMware Expert Title 2022. And all these stars show that you are a vExpert from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So that's something you can use in your CV as well, and it also gives you a certificate. If I'll click on get certificate, that will give me a certificate signed by Raghu, who is the VMware CEO, right,
CEO.
Akshay? Yeah.
Yeah, CEO.
So there are a few sub programs under vExpert. So if, let's say, you are already vExpert for just for core VMware stuff, and you also have expertise on VMware Cloud on AWS, that's something you do day in, day out, or you're doing HCX or any specific platform, you can apply for these vExpert titles as well. And how these vExperts, I mean, there's a community for vExperts as well. Like there's a community for VMUG. You click on the Slack channel, and you just have to click on invite me to Slack, and you will get connected to all the vExperts across the globe. Don't contribute anything there, but just by watching what all vExperts are putting in that chat, that itself gives you a lot of insight about what's happening around VMware, like what's new happening there. So that's what I wanted to share with everyone. And I think we are already, yeah, it's already 1:24. PPK or Akshay, if you would like to share something, would be great.
Yeah, sure. So I did reset the password, so I can quickly show the lab how to get started.
Would be great.
Just a sec. Yeah. Okay, continue. All right. So I clicked. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Yes, I can.
Okay,
see that.
great. So I just clicked. I selected one of the labs here in pathfinder.vmware.com. Let's say if I want to test maximum performance of a particular version of ESXi and understand how to right size VMs, then I can test something here, test the lab here, click start, and then I just pause the lab, so I'll restart. So once I restart, it starts deploying, provisioning a new setup for me. It could be nested ESXi somewhere. And then on the right, I see step-by-step instructions as to how to, what kind of modules are there and how to deploy this. So I just need to follow the steps. The manual is there. The information need not be as detailed as how it is in the user documentation, but still you can follow the instructions. And this is real machine, so you can click start. It takes a while if you're on far away from wherever this gets deployed. I'm not sure this is in India or in
This
the US,
is
but
WDC data center.
WDC, Vinci data center. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's great to see that within few minutes you have your lab ready, and anything you
ready,
want to explore, you have machines, you can talk to VMware products and can sort of gain knowledge around that. So that's real fun actually.
Yeah. So and from here there are other virtual machines they have created as part of this this lab. So you can connect to remote desktop connection to other machines and then access those lab resources. So that's quick 1 minute show on HOL. I'll just power down this so that
Yes, we have a question from Sushil.
Yeah.
Actually, earlier when I was using, it was VMware whole. So now I can see a Pathfinder also. So both are the same or a different one?
Actually, the domain has changed, but the objective is still hands-on lab. HOL is hands-on lab, and Pathfinder, they have unified other labs as well, other smaller labs as well. So they've changed the structure. Now it's more user-friendly, and you have objective-driven labs. Like if you want to just test the performance, you have, that's the objective. So you have performance testing lab. So apart from that, it's more or less the same. It's
still
nothing.
the same. It's just the domain mapping that has changed and some look and feel that has changed. But HOL and Pathfinder are the crux is the same. They land you at the same place.
Okay, so maybe in future HOL link will be removed from here once Pathfinder will fully active, right?
That might get happened in future. Yes. So pathfinder.vmware.com is a better place to you do stuff now than HOL.
Oh,
yep.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So we are at the top of the hour. I'll hand over it back to Prateek. We can probably do the Q&A and then see if anyone has questions.
Yep. Thanks, Sushil, for your question. But if anyone has any other question, please. We have few minutes, so we can take few questions. But yeah, I wanted to update everyone on that VMUG advantage thing. Let me bring that again. So that VMUG advantage is what we are giving today. We will do that based on a feedback what we'll be getting from all of you. So we'll be sending that feedback form to it will be Survey Monkey form, I believe, and you just have to fill that form, and based on that we'll do a raffle and we'll announce the VMUG advantage pass winner in our next VMUG session. So people who have attended the session, please fill out that survey, and we'll also make a note of all the people from Zoom itself to understand who are these people, so that we are getting the right person getting rewarded. So yeah, that's it for today. But yeah, let's wait for few minutes to see if anyone has any questions here or any queries.
So one question from me, Sushil here. So can I, where can I find the recording of this session? Because I get bit delayed due to the night shift work. So I missed around 30 minutes of session. So
okay,
is it recorded session?
Don't worry about it. We'll upload the session on LinkedIn and Twitter. so you can get that link, and we'll also be sending a link to all our community members. Like you received the Zoom invite, you will get a link to watch this recording as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Pratik. Amit this side.
Sorry, Amit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Amit.
Thank you so much for your session. Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for your nice session. And I would like to know whether class ID is mandatory or what. So actually, I did VCP 4 years back. That time I had class ID. But if I go further certification, so class ID is necessary, or we can go without class ID?
PPK, would you like to take that one?
Yeah, for VCP refreshers, I don't think they look for this Delta training, and I think it's better you write to education services at
Education
VMware,
services, right?
yeah, at VMware.com,
Okay.
because I think they'll be able to continue without the class ID, and I'm not sure they may be giving you the right information.
Yeah,
If we
that will be the best thing to do. But more these certifications do require a ICM credit, VMware install config manage credit. So if your MyLearn ID does not have that credit, even if you do appear for certification, you will not get that certificate.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Thank you so much.
that class ID, as per my understanding, that comes into play if you are doing a ICM, install configure manage,
Yes.
or doing a paid session with VMware wherein you get a trainer for a few days and getting trained on a particular product. But as soon as you are out of it, there is no class ID, and if you are doing hands-on labs, yeah, again, no class ID there as well. So class ID comes in when you pay for any VMware training and you have a trainer and they are creating an environment for you, especially for you. That's when class ID comes into play.
I guess Amit's question was specific to VMware certification, I guess, if I'm not wrong, right? So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
trying to,
So here
Yeah.
I would like to say one thing. If you have a, previous certification of VCP letter 5.5, I think then you can directly write the exam instead of involving in the paid training. And the certification you have before 5.5, then it is required to attend the official training to be eligible for the exam.
yeah. So yeah, there are some conditions to it. I guess learning VMware Education Services. We can share that email address in our notes that we will send out. You need to send. You can send your concerns to that email address, and those there will be a representative that will get back to you with the right information, right? So he might not give you the right information about this, might not be able to give you the right information about this. Things get, like, rules change about these certifications. So the best thing to do is to send an email to those guys and take the latest information about this.
Yeah, I think VMware Education is the right sort of
Right source.
platform here.
Source.
Right source.
Yeah. Yes.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Excellent.
Any other question from anyone before we wind up? All right, that's great. It's already okay. It's 1:34. Yeah, we started 5 minutes late, so it's fine. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining the session, and it was really fun session, and would like to see more people joining the VMUG community in future. And as our community gets more people, more registration, and it would be easy for us to bring some special guests on board as well. So with a smaller community, we can achieve what we can achieve more with a greater community. As of now, I can see there are few communities across globe like VMUG Pune, VMUG Argentina. They are doing pretty well, and plan is to take VMUG Chandigarh to that level. But it was quite nice to see everyone, and uh, based on the feedback form we'll be sending to everyone, we will take your ideas, your inputs, and we will plan our future sessions based on that. As I said earlier, we have experts. We can bring people from VMware, outside VMware, to talk about something, but we want to talk about something which is relevant and helpful for our VMUG Chandigarh community. So when I say Chandigarh, it's not just Chandigarh. We are trying to aim we are trying to target communities from northern part of India, especially Haryana, Chandigarh, Punjab, even Himachal Pradesh. So that those parts have been untouched from last few years, and if you'll see a lot of that innovation happening in the southern part of India, wherein can talk about what's happening in Bangalore, Pune, and other parts of southern part of India. So I think northern part of uh, they are, if they have to contribute, they are going to the south and contributing there, like Akshay. He's from Chandigarh and sitting in Bangalore from last few years, supporting from there. But it would be great to see VMUG community growing in this side of uh, in this region as well. And yeah, if you have any inputs or any ideas how we can make this VMUG thing better, please use that feedback form and help us out with that. So thanks a lot, everyone, especially Akshay and PPK. It was fun, and we'll catch up again for our next session, and we'll see how the feedback thing works, and based on those ideas, we'll jump in again.
Thanks, Prateek.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. Let's see what we receive in feedback. We'll design our future modules based on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah, thanks,
Akshay.
everyone.
And
Thank
thank you,
you.
PPK. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
day ahead.
Yes,
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good day.
Yes.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.